Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you the Bonnell Flats Campground and Comfort Station. It's on the Pine Creek Rail Trail. It's located where the former Camp Klein used to be for Boy Scouts. It's the first campground you're going to come to when you leave Jersey Shore. Coming, I guess, be considered, north. It's at the roughly 55-mile marker, about seven and a half miles outside of Jersey Shore, if you're heading up the Pine Creek Rail Trail. The reason I'm doing this video is because they actually just did a burn here, and it outlines when we get down there really good. This is, I guess we consider this the southern terminus. The 55-mile marker is right up there on the trail. And I'm going to start off here. This sign that just shows that the old Boy Scout camp that was here, and there was a bridge that came across before it got knocked down at I think 1974, right there. Got a picture of what used to be here. I mean, they had all kinds of different Indian named barracks or camping areas, and had a chapel area, a rifle range, an archery range, all kinds of really cool stuff along the creek here at the campground. Something I guess I wish was still here for kids today, but unfortunately I think that's kind of gone the wayside, and DCNR took it over or bought it or did something and fixed it up. Went over and doctored up the trails and everything else around here and made a really cool area. I like coming here to walk Benji a lot, but the only problem is parking at the trailhead that we use to get here is very small. There's only really 4 spots, and then a handicap spot, so a total of 5 parking spots. And a lot of other people think this is a really cool area too, because it can be hard to get a parking spot there. So much so that they actually have no parking signs and off to the sides and everything else. There's a spot on the further down the road that I've seen people park out and walk down the road and kind of come around in. That would be more used for putting in canoes and kayaks and stuff to be able to come here and walk. But that's up to you. I usually just go on down to the next one and hit it again. But I also live in the area and I'm close, so I've gotten to do this 100 times. Some people don't get to do that, so when they have the opportunity to come here, they just want to come here. Other than that, it's got a couple campsites for tents and 3 shelters, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. They all have picnic tables. The shelters are just a lean-to style shelter. Nothing spectacular, but they'll keep you dry and out of the weather, and that's all that really counts. So when we get there, I'll show you that part and where they did the controlled burn and everything to help the area out. All right, here's the first part you're going to come to, at least coming from the way I came, which is the backtrack, because I usually like to walk it first before I make the video and get most of his energy out. These are the lean-tos. They all have a picnic table and a fire ring. This one happens to be number 8. All the camping sites here require a permit, which is, normal along the rail trail. I think every campground here requires a permit of some sort along here, but all that does is help keep everything nice, and they put it back into the area. So I mean, the little bit you pay to be able to stay someplace like this, sorry Bubba, is always put back into the campgrounds and the trail work that they do. And they do a lot of work along this. Number 7 and 6 is right here. There's three of these lean-tos. But yeah, they do a lot of work around here, not just the burning and stuff like that, but a couple times a week it seems like they run down through here and just keep the trail clear of trees that are down and, you know, brush. And if had a bad storm come through and, you know, any water is washed out any section of the trail, you know, they smooth that over, etc. They the DCNR is out on this trail a decent amount. I don't always see them by any means, but I'm down here enough that I see them a decent amount. And if I see them a decent amount, that means somebody's running along this regularly. But this is where they did the burn. And then there's going to be another little trail area along through here that takes you down to the tent sites, which there's going to be 5 of those. And there's water access, so if you're in a kayak or canoe, you can very easily get up onto, you know, shore here and use the campground as well. It's not just for the rail trail; it's also for people, you know, doing the kayak and canoeing thing. This is pretty recent too. I was here 2.5 weeks ago, something like that, and this wasn't burned, so this is relatively recent. I really can't smell it, but it has rained, so that's probably why, is the rain and stuff knocked the smell down. And it might have been done the day after I was here last, who knows. They did do further down last year, and it was closer to the bridge. I think it'd be considered the Ramsey, I think it's the Ramsey Railroad Bridge. And I'm assuming they're just working their way up. Alright, this is going to be the campground for the tent sites. The Pine Creek runs right there. This is the trail that comes up from the water. Comes up in between sites 3 and 4. That's site 4. It's going to be closest to the trail that basically runs up to the bike trail. Again, firing, picnic table, under a bunch of pine trees. You should have some decent shade on this one. Depending on, I guess, how much the sun's out and where you set up. Yeah, that's campsite number 4. It's campsite number 3, 2, 1, so on and so forth. Nice picnic table and fire ring. Looks like they just cleaned out the fire rings recently. And again, they did the controlled burn down here all around, literally all around the sites. Yeah, site 3, site 2 over here. Looks like it's getting a little more on the open side. Not terrible. Once some leaves get on the trees, you know, it's still just middle of March, so technically speaking, still winter time. And this is going to be camp spot number 1 over here. Definitely got some nice flat area. One's looking a little on the small side though, depending on how big your group is, and so on and so forth. But you got a picnic table, got your fire ring, sign for site number 1. And I mean, you'll be able to spread out a little bit once this stuff starts growing back in, but those other areas are just more of an open area where you can have a little bit more room if you have a big tent. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of shade in that one. This one would have a little bit. Site number 5. Looks like the shadiest is going to be number 4 though, so if you're here in the heat of the summer, I would probably have to go with that one. Or if you're using a small tent, you can even be in site number 3, squeeze up underneath this tree. Wouldn't be terrible. Or along there. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a fan of heat, and definitely if you're camping in the summertime, you want to try and place yourself in the shade as much as possible. But I'll show you the bathrooms up along the trail. There's going to be 2 men's and 2 women's, plus the water pump and some tools and stuff to fix your bike. So when we get up there, I'll show you that part next. But this is basically the campground, 5 spots. In my opinion, 4 is going to be the shadiest. So on and so forth. 3 is not terrible. 1 and 5 look pretty open. 2 looks pretty open. But again, not terrible. I mean, you can move around. I mean, the sun moves. You know what I mean? You can figure it out and, you know, figure out how to get up underneath some trees, whatever. I don't think anybody would mind if you were like, listen, this is the site I got. I just want to put my tent over here so it was in the shade, yada, yada, yada. Then again, most of the time people get up and pack up and are gone first thing in the morning, so it doesn't really matter anyway. I'm just not an early riser, so that's something that matters to me. Alright, here we are up on the rail trail. Again, this is where they burnt both sides. You head down that, take you right to all the tent sites. Here you're going to have a bicycle pump, a bunch of little tools, screwdrivers, etc. all hanging here. It's like a wrench, some Allen keys, tire spoons, etc. Place to hang your bike, your air pump, your water. Non-potable, obviously it says do not drink, so assume you'd have to filter it or boil it. Not that big of a deal. They have all kinds of filters and tablets and such today. These are the bathrooms. This is the women's. It's going to have 2 sides to it. Campgrounds are usually like this, where they at least have, you know, the doubles. Other than that, the ones that are just, I guess, considered comfort stations in the middle of nowhere are just going to have one side's, you know, men's, the other side's women's, but in just one building. You got 2 men's and 2 women's, and here's a sign for it. Yeah, 7.3 miles from Jersey Shore is what this is saying. So, not terrible. Only 4.5, 4.3 from Waterville access area. So if you end up, you know, you're coming from there, etc. It's not very far. And then they have all your rules and regulations, you know, emergencies, trail guides. The actual map is over here. So yeah, it's a nice little campground. 5 tent sites, 3 lean-to, you know, shelter sites or whatnot. They just did a burn here, so keep everything down, especially this year. Nice for ticks too. I never just thought of that, but I bet that would have helped get rid of some of the ticks in the area. Not that you shouldn't still worry about them, because they're freaking everywhere. Trust me, I just had 2 the other day, out of the blue. But they take pretty good care of all the campgrounds along Pine Creek Rail Trail and Pine Creek. And this one's a pretty nice one too. So if you're looking to camp along here, this one's not bad. Hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Benji P. Let's get out of here and go get some dinner.